than murdered. Other friends have flown before. On the morrow he will leave me, as my hopes have flown before. And the bird said nevermore.
You're listening to the Call Podcast with Brandon and Josh.
Thank you, Dave. My mic has been muted for 1 minute and 50 seconds. That's how professional I am. I don't check to make sure the mic is turned on when it should be. So I'm going to start over. How's that sound? Hey, everybody. How's it going? Thank you all for joining us here on the call. How's it going? It is the NFL schedule release. This is the first time I'm using StreamYard to go live. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, we are on Twitch, which I have not streamed on Twitch in over 5 years. So this is going to be some fun. Thank you all for watching. We are having a blast. Josh is coming on. Oh, he just popped on. Let's see if I can add him to the stage. Josh, what's going on, man? How you doing? We are live on multiple platforms. We are live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Dave Rivers has already saved my butt because I was muted and didn't realize it. So we are having a blast here. We are less. Yeah, we should. I don't know how to do that, how to add somebody to the StreamYard, but we'll figure that part out. But we are less than a half hour away from the schedule release, the full schedule release. Josh, thank you for joining me here on the show. Let's see what I can find here. Let's talk about this. The kickoff to the NFL season, as I predicted, will be Ravens versus Chiefs in Arrowhead, September 5th on NBC and Peacock. Not surprised. I'm pretty happy about that. I think it's going to be a good game. I think we're going to have some fun watching that one, but love it. We're going to pick up right where we left off. What do you think about that? What do you think of that matchup?
Well, we're not going to pick up where we left off because obviously it was an L, but we need to right the wrongs. I know it's going to be new season, new team. I know the running joke here, right? Everybody's still frustrated. The Ravens got away from their game plan. Very easily could have won that game. However, it's still, hey, it's the same team, same kind of rivalry a little bit, but it's going to have a different feel. Obviously, this time in Arrowhead in Kansas City. It's away from the friendly confines of Enemy Bank Stadium, but I love it, dude. What better way to start the season than the same opponent who just ended your season and that Super Bowl berth bid? I love it. And what better way to showcase on the national stage the two-time defending champs back-to-back, Patrick Mahomes, already building his Hall of Fame career. You know, the last two MVPs, obviously Lamar, the most recent MVP, again, two-time NFL MVP in his own right. So it's going to be awesome, and I can't wait to get it started in style out in Kansas City, man, in Emmy territory. And I already know folks that are already on the trips. A lot of fans I've talked to are already going to get their KC barbecue on, man. Can't wait.
I mean, we got some good barbecue here in Baltimore, but I mean, Kansas City, I got to admit, they got some pretty good barbecue. But there are so many storylines that are going to be going into this game against Kansas City, against the Chiefs, against the Super Bowl champions. You know, they're going to, show off their banner. They're going to have the rings. They're all going to be there. The Ravens are going to have to watch all of that pregame going on. Hopefully Roquan Smith is going to be motivated like he always is. But remember how that game started last season with all of the hoopla and everything with Justin Tucker. What's going to happen there with Justin Tucker, with the pregame, with everything going on with Kansas City and that whole storyline? Like the Ravens, this has to be the most motivated the Ravens have been in years to open up a season, because everybody, fans, coaches, players, that game left a bad taste in everybody's mouth, and they got something to prove. What better way to do it? Open up the season against the Super Bowl champions. They're going to hopefully, have a little bit of a championship hangover. The Chiefs always start really slow. This is the perfect time to meet them, and hopefully this will set up the season to be a blast, to be something that the Ravens can build upon moving forward. This is a new team. You think about it. It's going to be the first time that Zach Orr is going to be the defensive coordinator. It's going to be against Super Bowl champions. We're going to have a new offensive line. We've got Nate Wiggins and against Worthy, potentially in the first matchup. I mean, this entire game, every single play, it's going to feel like there's a backstory to it.
Absolutely, dude. No matter which way you look at it, there's always going to be a story, whether you have those new coaches, new Ravens instilled, which is always the case, right? And then even also on the other line, Marquise Brown, drafted as a Raven. We know how that turned out. Now he's a Chief. So that's going to be interesting with that storyline interwoven in there to get to see him for the first time in a while. I think the last time the Ravens really played against him, they played the Cardinals, but I can't recall if he even played in that game or not. If not, it was a very minimum impact. He really rarely heard his name, so I don't even know if he played or not. Someone's got to go out and correct me. Dave says, salty opening game gives me Titan vibes from 2020, 2021. You're right, man. Like, it's kind of like that other rivalry. Like, if you take it outside the North, it's like even old school, right? Ravens, Titans, 2000, 99, 2001, you had that feel. And then now most recently, remember how like Marcus Peters and all that with this logo stomp and how they treated us and that back and forth in the divisional game, ending the 2019 campaign there. So it's kind of that outside rivalry. Like you look at it now, they're already playing up like how it was before Patriots Colts with Manning and Brady. Right now it's more the second game, right? We already know the Chiefs play another AFC North team in the Bengals in week 2. So it's kind of like they're already putting it up Bengals Chiefs because of the AFC championship game tie-ins. Brandon, apparently those shirts are popular, man. We need to brand those and put them out there.
Yeah, MD Pride Forever says, Brandon, I need one of those shirts. I'm wearing some call merch right now. That's something we got to figure out maybe this off season. We got to do some call merch. That's something new we haven't done this will be our 12th season moving forward. So
yeah, we need to get that out there. Maybe get a hat with the logo, get the shirts out there. Maybe do I think one we can do, man, is how about And the Bird Said Nevermore from the song.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. I like that.
And then the call podcast on the back or something, or the little logo. We need to start working some things in there, man. Let's get it out there.
So the other game that was announced, first off, Netflix will have the Christmas Day games moving through this season through 2026. And to start off their first time with the NFL football games, it's going to be the Baltimore Ravens and the Texans at 4:30 in the afternoon on Christmas Day. So the Ravens, the first team to play back-to-back Christmas days. Pretty wild to see that. And it's going to be the inaugural games, Christmas Day games on Netflix. So that's pretty wild. 2 games we can already talk about before the actual schedule comes out. But what are your thoughts?
Or what, 2 down, 15 to go, I should say, right?
Yeah. So what are your thoughts here? Christmas Day game, Texans, Ravens, 4:30, and on Netflix.
You know what? I'm excited for that, right? 2 years in a row, the Ravens are featured on the biggest holiday of the year, Christmas Day. Remember last year it was an awesome feast to behold at Christmas night out in San Francisco, man. The Ravens took it to them, and what better way to wrap your Christmas Day up and get the greatest gift of all, a big, huge Ravens dub and in fashion. So huge game here. Now they're out in H-Town in Houston, rematch of the divisional game that happened this past year in M&T Bank Stadium. Young C.J. Stroud. This is going to be a game, especially if you look at how the makeup, the Texans are no slouch right now. They are
Yeah.
a force to be reckoned with. What they've done to build around CJ Stroud, they added former Bengal Joe Mixon. How about getting Stephon Diggs this offseason? You got Tank Dell, Nico Collins in the passing game. Boom. This offense is going to be potent. And then they already got some young stars on defense. So look out. D'Amico Ryans and this team, they're going to be a force in the AFC. And I think this is going to be a number one marquee matchup, but also for the playoff implications this late in the season. So I can't wait. And even the first game, right? Chiefs, Steelers. My buddy Dave Sheeler put it out there. He's like, can this game end in a tie earlier? And I was like, dude, right? Like but you look at it, the NFL fans are going to get treated with two great games on Christmas Day. We get to hopefully see the Steelers lose. You obviously have to be a Chiefs fan during that game. So you can hopefully get the Steelers lose and the Ravens win all on Christmas Day. That would be a double dose of gift from Santa, man. That'd be great. That'd be great. Man. But now Christmas Day, and it's the late game with that. So luckily, it's not like right in the middle of the day where you're probably traveling. It's probably at the height of, I don't know, there's a lot of Christmas traditions out there, but for us, it's going to be right in that sweet spot, spending time with family, evening, presents opening and doing the dinner thing. So it's going to be a nice thing. And then it'll be over early evening where it's not going to be the nightcap as it was last year. And they're doing it differently. I know because it's a Wednesday. I don't know if that changes things too, but like last year it was on a Monday night, right? Like, so if I remember right, the Christmas Day was on Monday last year.
I think it was.
It was
but I think it was
for Monday Night Football. Yeah, it seems like a blur. And then I'm thinking, like, was it a Monday? And then 2 days later, I have to go back and look at the calendar. But the fact that it's on a Wednesday, it's pretty cool. How like they're not doing like a triple header and then having a late game even that night too. So doing one at 4:30. I think the two games are fantastic. What I'm actually when I'm going to call attention to before the schedule really gets released here in a few moments was they released the Christmas Day slate. I want to go back to Christmas Day because I want to ask you about some impacts on that with the Netflix thing. But like, why not release like the Thanksgiving slate? You already got Christmas Day there. Why is Thanksgiving like a secret now? Like we already know the Lions and Cowboys play. Like why don't you release their opponents and we already know what times they play? And then why don't you release the late game? How hard is that? It's 4 more teams. I just feel like it's funny. They release the opening game. They release the opening Monday. Like they always give you tidbits. Like we already know the opening night Monday night game. It's 49ers Jets. For the second straight year, they're trying to get Aaron Rodgers featured. Hopefully it's a better debut for the Jets, and then they're away this time. We already know the first Thursday night game is Bills and Dolphins, AFC East rival there. And then we already know Tom Brady is going to be featured in the booth during the Browns game. Cowboys visit the Browns from week 1. So we kind of already know a few matchups here or there, but they always give you those little crumbs, right? Like, let's give you a little bit of appetizers, but the main course is going to be here in a little bit. But hey, to have these two games already popping off, we already know that the Ravens have 2 great matchups. Unfortunately, they're away for these 2 games. But there you go. Book your travel plans. If you work it in your holiday plans, you can go to Houston for the Christmas Day games. So it's going to be fun. What do you think about the Netflix thing, man? Because I know a lot of fans are up in arms about like, now you already have to do Prime for Thursday, and then they're experimenting with Peacock-only games, and now it's the Netflix has arrived on the NFL scene with the next streaming option. So obviously, I don't have nothing personally to worry about. I'm a Netflix guy and Peacock and I'm Prime, or I feel like I do it all. So at least for the platforms, personally for me, I have nothing to worry about. But there is a gripe about fans, right? They have different platforms, Apple TV and whatnot, or Fubo, or YouTube TV, and then I still got cable, man. So like I'm an Xfinity customer, so like these 2 games are exclusively on Netflix. We talked about the streaming games, the war, the money, the cable, all that, and the contracts. What say you about the Netflix situation with Christmas with Christmas Day? Because that could put some impacts on viewership. Especially during the holidays where now it's like now you got to go in and do your login and all that jazz. And I want to hear about you to say about the streaming. What do you think?
Well, I love the streaming wars. I love the history of television and that kind of stuff. I'm a nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff, but it's kind of wild because Netflix is the one that started all of the streaming stuff. They were the first ones with the technology, and everybody caught on. It was like, oh, $10 a month. And I get to watch this show and this show and this show. Then they got into original content, and then Prime tried out with some live entertainment. The WWE Network was the first one to do like live pay-per-views, and they really saw that sports was a big attention getter, and that's what's keeping broadcast television alive right now. So to see what they're doing here, yeah, it's annoying because I saw a stat that it's going to cost people like $850 to watch every single game in the NFL this year. You have to get Red Zone and YouTube TV and Prime and Peacock and Netflix and whatever else. And
sounds like all the streaming stuff that we're on for the podcast.
But like, yeah, exactly.
Maybe they'll be on Overcast now. Maybe they'll stream on Overcast.
The stream on Overcast.
I had to say it.
But it's kind of wild what's going on right now. I mean, for the NFL, they're printing money, so good for them. But as a consumer, it is going to be rough. But you're probably thinking like, well, if I want to watch this one game, I can do a $16 1 month of Netflix. I can do whatever. I think Prime is $100 a year or something like that. Peacock I can do for $15 for 1 month. So yes, it's annoying. Yes, it's not right, but there's a deal coming out where it's Apple TV, Netflix, and Peacock all bundled together. You buy that bundle through Xfinity, and it's supposed to be cheaper than going like just separately and picking each one, but that's just cable 2.0. So we've come full circle. It's going to be just cable 2.0, and it's all these streaming services, and they're going to charge whatever they want, unfortunately. But I like you said, I'm a subscriber to Peacock and Prime. Netflix, who really has dipped in the original content. I don't think it's that good anymore, but they're going to get WWE Raw starting in January. So that it's they're going into the live entertainment business. I know they did the Chris Rock special that was live. I believe the Tom Brady roast was live at first. So it's the streaming wars. We're kind of living through it right now, and we're going to see what happens. So we're a couple minutes away from the schedule release. It's happening at 8:00 currently right now. It is 7:47. Say hi to our buddy Josh. How's it going? Former guest of the show, Josh Brinkley. He's watching with us right now, and he used to do lawn art, if you remember. Back in the day, man. This was like our first 1 or 2 seasons. We had this guy on because he was doing some yard art and painting people's lawn for the Orioles, who were in the postseason. I guess it was 2012, 2013, something like that. So it's good to have Josh here. Always good to talk to our good buddy Josh Brinks, if you will. Again, we are live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. Twitch seems to be blacked out, so I still got to figure that out. I got the off season to figure out Twitch. No way to do video streaming on Discord, unfortunately, but we'll figure that out later on down the road. I got to tell you though, I'm not going to spill the beans. Okay. I'm not going to do it, but the Ravens schedule release video is going to be coming out. It's dropping soon as the schedule comes out. It's going to be a fun video for everyone to watch. I got to be a part of that video. I'm not going to spoil it. I'll tell you about it once it goes out on the air or post up on Facebook and YouTube and all those other places. But I got to be a part of it. I'm curious if I made the cut. We shall see. But I got treated very nicely. It was very cool, and I get to be a part of it. And it's got a nice little story. But it's going to be a good one. So, Josh, besides those two games that we've already talked about, how many primetime games do you think the Baltimore Ravens are going to have this year? We've already got the Christmas one's 4:30, so technically it's not prime time, but we've got the Thursday night game coming up week 1. That's not considered, I should say, a prime Thursday night game. So I'm assuming we're going to get one of those as well. So what's that magic number? What do you have? How many 8:00 starts do you think the Ravens? How many numbers? I guess how many are going to be under the lights on prime time for the Ravens?
I'm going to go with 5. And before
you're going with the maximum of 5.
Yeah, I'm going to go the maximum of 5, especially since they were in the Final Four of the NFL last year, number 1 seed, championship game appearance. Real quick before I forget the notion, I wanted to, bring up the Netflix thing real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick before I ask you about the prime time and your guesses. Do you realize that because you said Netflix was the first on the scene, right? With the streaming. Do you recall the story that came out a few years ago that apparently Blockbuster could have bought Netflix for $50 million and the CEO said it was going to be a joke? Now look at it now.
Yeah, it's
And
wild,
that's
isn't it?
crazy. Like, think about it. Like, like you had the opportunity, and instead of just taking a chance, taking a gamble, you scoffed and said no. Yeah, yeah. Now they're broadcasting NFL games at Christmas, for goodness sake. So
I know.
yeah,
Wild.
man. So yeah, but off of that point, I just wanted to make a remark on that streaming. When you were talking about it, I was like, that was a point. I was like, ooh, I remember that story. So what say you about the prime time? Are you in agreement with the 5 maximum? They already have 1. Maybe you can even call Christmas Day 1A, maybe 2. I don't know if you really call 4:30 out in Houston in a dome or primetime game, but I guess you could. It's a feature game, standalone game on Christmas Day with two at the doubleheader. But what say you, man? What do you think the Ravens get this year?
Let's see. I'm thinking if we've got the first week, we're gonna have a Thursday night, a Sunday night, and a Monday night. So that's 4 right there. I was thinking the 5th one was going to be Thanksgiving, but if we're getting Christmas, I doubt we're gonna get Thanksgiving as
You
well.
can. Didn't the Niners get both of them last year?
Did
The
they?
Niners the Niners played the Seahawks on Thanksgiving night, if I remember,
Yeah,
didn't they? And then they played the Ravens on Christmas Day.
yeah, maybe. All
The
right,
Niners got
maybe
both
it could
holidays
be.
last year. Yeah.
All right, we'll see. We'll see if that happens. I can see the Chargers game if it's not on Thanksgiving. I can see that being a primetime game. You know, the Ravens also have Dallas, they have Buffalo, they have
They have the
Philadelphia. I
Eagles.
think
They have some good opponents this
yeah,
year.
I
The
think
Bills.
any of those could be games that are on at 8 o'clock. I think everyone's going to be clamoring for any game like that. So I'm gonna guess 4. I'm gonna say 4. I'm gonna hope for 5. But here's another one for you, Josh. How many of those games at night in prime time are going to be at home for the Ravens?
I was just about to ask you that because you know how the Ravens always get. I mean, look, they're already featured in 2 games that are on the road in big moments. So
Yeah.
against quality AFC opponents. So you have to feel the Ravens got to get a Sunday night game because you know it's a big hit with that whole Darkness Falls and the darkness there, nothing more. The Ravens night games are unprecedented here, as we know, with the light shows and the entrances. It's like a rock star entrance and then some for the players, and it just gives you that it's a different buzz, man, when it's a nighttime game here at M&T Bank Stadium. So I say the Ravens, I would like to see them get 2 primetime games at home, whether it's a Sunday night, a Monday night, or maybe even a Thursday night, but we'll know here in a few short moments where it all stacks up. And I can't wait, man. Breaking on down, it's going to be awesome. So yeah, I can't. I always look forward to this prime time. It's always like, real quick, we talked about this every year. Already knowing these 2 games, right? When the schedule gets fully released and you see all the games lined up, where does your eyes go to first? Like, where do you look at right away? Like, what are you looking at?
The first thing I look for, I mean, because of who I am, I look for those holiday games. I want to know when they're playing around New Year's, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Halloween.
Okay.
I'm constantly
and you know
looking
one
for
already. Okay.
Yeah, and we know one already. So I'm intrigued to see if they get Christmas. What is that going to do to the New Year's schedule? So I'm intrigued to see about that. You're a traveler, so I know you're always looking at like the away games to see which stadium you can visit
Well,
next.
you got Dallas, man. Dallas is on the docket. I think, yeah. So I mean, Dallas is one of the big ones out there. Already, people are locking up KC. Houston on Christmas there. Obviously, I'm probably not going to do that, but yeah. I mean, Dallas is one of the marquee ones out there. You got to go to Jerry's Place and Big D out there. So love to see a trip there. I can't wait to see how it all shakes out. So I definitely will not be going to Washington. I tell you that. Until they get a new stadium.
That could be a good game though. The Commanders, they could be they're changing things up, new ownership. Really the one of the first years with the new ownership. They've got some different players coming in. So I mean that could be a good one and not too far away. Let's see what else what should we talk about here? What are some of who are the other opponents here? I know we've got Washington, we've got Dallas, we've got Philadelphia, we've got Buffalo. It's gonna be a rough schedule for the Ravens. Got a lot of teams, a lot of playoff teams.
Schedule. It was Ravens. It was put out prior to. I mean, we already know the opponents and all that. So the thing that's sorted out is the win. But apparently, the Ravens have the second hardest schedule in terms of opponent winning percentage in 2024. Browns are first. Ravens are. Think about this. I'm going to read you the list, but just think about it. Browns, Ravens, Steelers, Texans, and then the Packers, Texans and Packers are tied virtually at fourth at a .526 opponent winning percentage. 3 AFC North teams lined up have the hardest winning percentage in terms of opponents, hardest schedule-wise in 2024. Interesting enough. 2 of those teams were playoff teams last year. It's going to be interesting. Also, I'm looking forward to seeing, and me, like you talk about the Ravens schedule real quick before it comes out in a few moments. You know me, not only with the Ravens, but my favorites, man. Love looking at the primetime slates, and we usually do it every year, right? I love looking at the whole Thursday night football slate,
right?
Monday night football slate, and then Monday night football slate, especially, and think about week 1, right? Think about how the Ravens get that lone marquee game, and then you can just watch football and have an uninterrupted weekend all weekend long and not have to worry about Ravens football for 11 days. So I love the fact that, they go on the road in that first game, but, take a dub. And then depending on how this schedule shakes out here in a few moments, and if they're coming home, hey, you get a dub, and then you have a mini bye week already to start the year and get out there with a dub. So it's going to be awesome to see how it shakes out. I probably like it. The last time the Ravens were really featured on that kickoff game, they actually, other than the Ravens winning the Super Bowl, they haven't really been featured in that. My memory and any recollection have not been featured in that opening game. The last time they was a bad memory for Ravens fans in 2013. The game got moved to Denver because of the Orioles schedule, and Peyton Manning threw 7 touchdowns on the Ravens defense that game, and they got trounced. So definitely want to forget that. But that's the only last time I can remember the Ravens being featured on that first and opening game of the season, which is awesome.
Now, Dave Rivers, he posted here and said the International Series games stink this year. We were talking potentially the Ravens going to Germany. I know that Lamar was over in Europe earlier this month, so I was thinking, oh, well, maybe they're kind of putting him over there to see what kind of crowd that he could get a response from. But unfortunately, no international games for the Baltimore Ravens this year. I loved the London game last year, but nothing this year. So are you bummed about that? Are you bummed that we're not going to see the Ravens over in Europe or somewhere else in the world?
Look, it's pretty cool, but I'm not bummed. I know it was a cool experience for the fans, but all that and the trips. But given that we have to play it like very early in the morning here on the West East Coast, I should say, and then even worse on the West Coast for our fans out there, I'm good with it, man. Oddly enough, there's a game right after the Ravens game. The Ravens open Thursday, September 5th. That first international game is Packers-Eagles on September 6th in Brazil. Right. So we get Friday football right out of the gate. So the NFL is experimenting with all these different days and Wednesday, Christmas Day games. And, they're already doing the Black Friday game. And that's another one too. I'm looking out for the schedule is who's going to be playing on Black Friday this year. They experimented with that last year. I'm assuming that's going to be keeping going for the time being. So that's another thing too. The London games, which David is not pleased with. We already know the Jaguars are featured there, back-to-back games. The first one up in Tottenham Hotspurs, Jets, Vikings. So you're going to get a taste of Aaron Rodgers if he's still healthy, Justin Jefferson. So you get some good stars. You're going to get Jaguars, Bears, the Bears. Dude, what they've done to revamp their team this year, that's going to be fun to watch. And then Patriots, right? Patriots in a new regime under Gerard Mayo and their rookie quarterback who they drafted. And that whole difference, you're not going to get the hoodie and the Belichick Arab. That's gone. And then you get the Jaguars there. And then Munich, Germany's getting Panthers and Giants. Man, Germany, you lucked out, man. You got the marquee matchup of the year.
Now the Jags, are they doing they're doing back-to-back weeks, right? They're just staying over in London for their 2 games.
That's what was speculated, right? Like, I think they're just probably going to stay over there. I like to probably see how that shakes out. I'm assuming they would. Why would they want to travel and go away when they're pretty much staying? And I think they did that last year. I think they did stay, if I remember, because they did a whole back-to-back games and they're doing it again. So,
and there was a lot of talk of them potentially moving over to London permanently, but it seems like they've just signed a new lease and an agreement for the new Jacksonville Stadium, and that's going to be built in the next couple of years. So I think Jacksonville will be staying in Jacksonville for the time being.
Absolutely. Real quick for the schedule gets released, because it is 8:00 on the dot. The away opponents are Giants, Bucks, Chargers. We already know Houston and Kansas City, and then the AFC North. So home games are Bills, Commanders, Eagles, Broncos, and Raiders, and then the whole AFC North slate. So like I said, hey, going back to Tampa Bay, that's always a destination. We can go up the road to the New York Giants. I'm sure that'll be a likely destination easily. I know me and my friends will probably do it. We did the day trip for the Jets game, so the Giants game will probably be a nice, easy bus ride up there.
Here we go. It is officially out. The Baltimore Ravens schedule is out. All right.
Drum roll, please.
Do you just want to? Should we just read these off as we're at?
I don't even have it yet. How did you get it before me?
All right, I'll start off here. Of course,
I got to see it first. I got to see it. Don't start yet. I don't even have it. I don't have it yet.
You got to refresh, man. I got this.
I did. I've been refreshing the whole time. Are you on the Ravens app?
I'm on Twitter. I'm on X. I should say.
Well,
but of course, we've got the.
Actually, I got it here. I had to close out the app. Okay, here we go. All right, let's go through it.
Thursday, September 5th, week 1 in Kansas City against the Chiefs. Then we have Sunday, September 15th, week 2, a 1:00 game against the Raiders. Sunday, September 22nd, week 3 against the Cowboys. Sunday, September 29th, week 4 against the Bills. I saw that one leak, and that one was true. All right, Josh, you take over. You do October. I'll come back in November.
Especially since this is the day after my birthday.
There you go.
We are doing week 5. It would be, hold on, I got to look at the way how they have it here. I'm assuming the purple shade is home and that gray shade is away. Okay, I got it now because I was like looking at the color coding. So week 5, Sunday, October 6th, we're at Cincinnati, a 1:00 kickoff. Then we come back home in week 6 to the Commanders at home. And then we go back on the road for double dip. Week 7, we have a Monday night matchup. Here's a primetime Monday night matchup in Tampa Bay.
Tampa. Okay. All right. That's an odd choice for a Monday night, but okay. Hey,
Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
He's got the contract. I can see that. He was the first pick in that draft where Lamar was drafted. That's going to be good. Remember the playoff game in 2018 or the last game of the regular season 2018? Who can forget that? The Browns and the Ravens squaring off with Lamar and Baker. Yeah. And then they finish out October away at the Browns. So Baker Mayfield's former employer, they finish at 1:00 kickoff the last Sunday in October. So you say something around Halloween. There you go. Orange, Halloween. Perfect for you, Brandon. There you go. You got to do the Halloween dance, guy.
All right. So I'll take over November. Sunday, November 3rd, week 9. It is the Broncos at home, 1:00 game. Then the next week, a Thursday night game. Oh, it's the rematch of the prime game of last year.
Yes.
Thursday, November 7th, week 10. It's going to be Ravens versus Bengals. And it
was almost around the same time.
It was, yes,
it was really almost around probably that same date. Weird.
Weird.
It was like a couple weeks for Thanksgiving. It was like the 10th or something. Weird.
Oh, and then look at this, back-to-back AFC North opponents. 10 days apart, Sunday, November 17th, 1:00. Week 11, Ravens versus Steelers. A little surprised it's not a primetime game, but Ravens-Steelers 1:00 game in November.
That's the away
Monday.
Game.
Oh, another Monday night. Monday night game, November 25th. I think that's the Monday after Thanksgiving.
All right.
So that is 8:00. That is the Harbaugh Bowl, week 12 against the Chargers, 8:15 start. And then you're up December 1st. You're the week 13, buddy. So go for it.
That would be the that would be the Monday prior to Thanksgiving.
It's the Monday prior to Thanksgiving.
Yeah. Thanksgiving's on, I looked at the calendar real quick. Thanksgiving is on November 28th. The Ravens played that Monday night game the 25th. So they're close to Thanksgiving, but hey, get to start Thanksgiving week in style with that's going to be a matchup, man, right? You got the two former running backs. You have Hayden Hurst on the team. You got Greg Roman. You have Jim Harbaugh. So it's going to be a great marquee matchup there for
Thanksgiving is late this year.
Yes, sir. Ooh. Yes, sir. All righty. Starting in December, we have the Birds from the North invading down here. The Eagles come to M&T Bank Stadium for a 4:25 p.m. kickoff. So it's going to be a late window kickoff. But remember, these games starting in November, they're all designated as a flex schedule. So there could be an opportunity that these games get moved to one or maybe even a Sunday night game. But right now, it is scheduled for a late afternoon window at home against the Eagles. So that'd be good. I know a lot of Eagles fans friends. So that'll be one to circle on the calendar for me because I'm sure they'll be all wanting to come down and we can do one big tailgate, maybe invade the tailgate. It's going to be fun.
There you go.
Bye week is late this year for the Ravens, man. Week 14.
Again.
Week 14.
Yeah,
How
it was
about
late last year because of the London trip.
Right. And they chose to do that. This year it's by design, I guess, by the schedule makers. But after that, all right, since I got to the bye week, let's have you wrap it up. What we got for the final 4 games here down the stretch and going through the holidays and then the new year.
That's right. See, December 15th, Sunday, 1:00 game. It is the New York Giants. They're going up to New York to see that Rockefeller Center Christmas tree on week 15 on December 15th. And then Saturday, December 21st, week 16, 4:30 start. It's going to be Ravens versus Steelers at home. And then on Christmas Day, like we said, another 4:30 game, week 17 against the Texans. And then we don't know the date of the last week 18 game. They will be closing up the 2024 season against the Cleveland Browns.
All right. So got through the regular season schedule. Let's go back. Let's count the prime times. We got 1, we got 2, we got 3, we got 4, and there's the 5. We got 5. If you're not counting the 4:30 kickoff, there's the 5th. So it was right on the dot. 5 primetime games that start at 8:00.
Very cool. That's great.
You got the Chiefs opening week, right?
Yep.
We have Sunday Night Football against the Bills. We have Monday night against the Buccaneers. We have Thursday Night Football against the Bengals. And then we have Monday night against the Chargers. So there's your Fab 5 for the primetime slot. So awesome. Love that. So there's the 5. So the Ravens are going to be heavily featured with that. And there we go.
There's our
I love
schedule
the fact
there.
that the Dallas game is week. It's like right there at early,
Yeah.
It's going to be a good travel week there.
So it looks like we get the Bengals within a month. If you look at it there. So it's October 6th and November 7th. So we get the Bengals, done pretty much halfway through the season.
Absolutely. And then both Steelers games are late. Both Steelers games are in the later part of the schedule. Yeah, this is pretty interesting to me. Looking at the schedule, scrolling up and down it, right?
Right.
What's the first thing that jumps out at you? Like, do you see is there any concerns of yours, any weaknesses? Or let's pack it. Like, before we break it all down, right? We have a lot to say, likes, dislikes, and all that. Let's start with what do you see already that jumps out to you that you don't like about this regular season gauntlet right here?
I'm going to say the bye week being so late. I mean, yes, it worked last year and they were able to kind of get healthy for that stretch run towards the end. But man, that bye week being so late, that's going to be hard to get through. Again, this is a tough schedule. If you look week 7, 8, 11, 12, those are all away games. That's going to be a rough stretch there in that month. So the bye week being that late, it could be a blessing in disguise. It could be a rough go of it, but yeah, that one is a little bit worrisome. And yeah, I think that's the only thing that really stands out to me. I think easy decision to have Ravens Buffalo at 8:00, 8:20 on week 4. I think that makes sense for Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks.
The detail.
The Bucks Ravens is a little odd for October.
What's that? I'm sorry. Say that again.
The Bucks Ravens game being on a Monday night. That's a little weird, but like you said, it's Baker versus Lamar. They've been going against each other their entire careers.
The Bucks were in the divisional playoffs last year. They made it a little deep. I don't know if you caught this, and you might have read it, and I probably just because I'm glancing at the schedule and ignored it. But backtrack a little bit to the Steelers home game. Do you realize it was a Saturday? I don't know if you caught.
Was it?
Yes, it's a Saturday, because I was about to call it to attention that talking about the Ravens play a Sunday, then 3 days later they play again in Houston. So they play Saturday, December 21st at 4:30. So it's a Saturday home game. So I'm sure that'll be coupled with other games there. And then they get that Sunday off, and then they travel to Houston for that Christmas Day game that Wednesday. So they play 4 days. So the only real thing that concerns me is that short week. But look, they go from a bye week to week 14. Week 15, they go to New York to play the Giants, or New Jersey for that matter. And then they play the Steelers at home and then travel to Houston. So really, I mean, even though that short week, and they get the short week later in the year or earlier in the season when they play the Broncos and then stay home and turn around and play the Bengals at home on Thursday night 4 days later. But, it's not really too much of a gauntlet there because they travel a short bus ride to New York. You're pretty much, call it what it is, you're virtually home. You're 3 hours away from home with a bus ride. And then you play the Steelers and then you travel. So that's not too bad. But yeah, that Steelers game, I'm looking at Saturday 12/21. That's a Saturday game.
Look at
So
that.
that's going to be pretty cool. So the Ravens, they play a Thursday, they play a Wednesday, they play a Monday, they play a Sunday, they play Thursday. I was like to say, the only day the Ravens aren't playing is a Friday and a Tuesday at this point this season. I mean, they got them all covered. They got 5 of the 7 days of the week covered, and week 18 is to be determined. Who knows when they might play it? They might put that one on a Tuesday. Why not? Tuesday tuffle with the Browns, but yeah, the Ravens I like the Ravens finale. It's at home, but against a division opponent. But I also don't like that because how many times is that last home game sometimes meaningless? Especially like last year. Remember they locked up the 1 seed against the Dolphins. The Steelers game, no one was really there. It was bad weather. I was there. But it was kind of like it just, they won and all that. And it just like it takes the luster. Like you look forward to all the home games. And again, we got a regular season finale at home. That's something I automatically don't like. Even though it is a divisional opponent, like last year was the Steelers, this year it's the Browns. I don't like that because if stuff is wrapped up early, the home game doesn't mean anything. And it's not as fun to go to. Like, look, it's kind of like what it is. So that to me is always a downer because it just happens to be that way. But
Well, here, listen to this. This is kind of interesting. Week 1 of the preseason, Friday, August 9th, Ravens versus Philadelphia. So they're going to start their preseason against Philly and then see them again December 1st. So that's kind of wild. Then week 2 is going to be a Saturday game at, it looks like noon. Saturday, August 17th at noon against the Atlanta Falcons.
yes.
And then Saturday at August 24th at 1:00 in Green Bay. So if you're going to go to Green Bay, do it in August so you don't have to, deal with the cold. But a noon start for preseason week 2.
And you know what's all weird about this preseason schedule? And this hasn't happened in a while. They opened the preseason at home against the Philadelphia Eagles, who they play later this year. That really doesn't happen often where they play a preseason opponent, then they turn around and play them in the regular season. They could happen in Washington where the Ravens and Washington squared off, and I think they played like a month later. Like, it was weird. But, like, I have to go back on the schedules and look at that, but that's rare. Never happens. That caught my eye right away. Everybody forgets about the preseason. The Ravens get 2 out of 3. That's also intriguing about the preseason. How about week 3 in Lambeau? Hey, if you're going to go do the Green Bay and the Lambeau Field tour, do it while it's cheap as you can, and it's in August. Why not?
You know what?
I'm almost tempted to do it, man. Late August. Why not, man?
Why not? Dave Rivers has got a good idea. You got Ravens at noon, and then later that night you got the Baltimore Orioles playing as well.
That's probably why they did that.
Yes, yeah.
Because the Orioles schedule set, and they were like, but it was pretty cool how the preseason times are a little different. You're used to those primetime preseason games. I've never seen a preseason game at 1:00 in the afternoon for the Ravens, if I ever seen it. Usually they're always like there's like a Saturday at 7 p.m. or like a Friday at 7 p.m. Like you get them on like Thursday through Saturday sometimes a little bit, but there's like a 7:30 p.m. kickoff. Weird, but I maybe kind of like that because preseason is an opportunity for fans who can't really afford to go to games and families to come to the stadium. The fact that it's on a Saturday afternoon in week 2 on the middle of August, I think I like that. And then Green Bay the following week to do, that's a nice weekend there. Take a weekend getaway, go to Lambeau, tour the field, get to go to Lambeau Stadium or Lambeau Field and enjoy the stadium and the atmosphere and not really have to, do the whole bit. So, that's tempting for Ravens fans to even do a travel there, and I'm really tempted to circle that one. So that's intriguing for me. But yeah, the preseason itself it's got some adventure in it, man. I mean,
That's
Yeah.
crazy. That's wild. I've never seen a noon
It's
start,
wild.
but hey, this is perfect. You got a Saturday mid-afternoon, get yourself a couple dozen crabs, sit down, watch the game at noon, then watch the O's later on. That sounds like a pretty good Saturday to me. Here, I'm going to put this up on the screen. Here is your Monday night football schedule. If you want to take a look at that, of course, we have the Ravens Chargers November 25th. We got Ravens Bucks on October 21st. Let's see what we got. So Jets San Francisco, we knew that was opening as well. Any other games here kind of pique your interest for the Monday night schedule?
Let me take a look.
Yeah, I've got it up on the screen if you want to take a look there. A doubleheader to be announced on January 4th.
All right. So, yeah, and we already knew the Ravens matchups. They got 2 of those slates. So,
Yep.
Monday night matchups I'm looking to see here. So, throwing up on the screen September, we got Jets, Niners, Falcons, Eagles is going to be a good one that second week, especially the new look Falcons and with what the Eagles have. It's going to be a good one. Jags, Bills is intriguing as well to me. The Bills are going to be an interesting story this year, Brandon, because of the personnel they lost offensively. Josh Allen's still Josh Allen, man, but losing a Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs on that offense, I right now don't even know who's catching the ball for them. I think that's like Shakur or somebody. I don't even know at this point. Then you got, is that a doubleheader on week 3, ABC exclusive with the Bengals and the Commanders? So we have a doubleheader, it looks like, in week 3, September 23rd, then another doubleheader on the 30th. Is that what I'm seeing here? A few doubleheaders here?
Yeah, you're seeing a doubleheader on
the Ravens are featuring a
23rd.
doubleheader on their October 21st matchup on week 7.
That's
The
correct.
Ravens Bucks square off, but then you have the Chargers and the Cardinals squaring off on an ESPN Plus exclusive game there too. So yeah, they're doubling down on some of these Monday night games. Interesting. I hope they're not at the same time. The times are not on here on the Monday night schedule, but we know the Monday Night Football usual start times. But I'm hoping that this isn't whole because remember last year they did that. They were showing 2 feature games, but one was on one and one was on the other. And I'm like, fans weren't liking that because it's kind of like you want to watch one and then the other, but I guess you can't really I guess you can't make everybody happy because then what happens if you have one back to back? The East Coast don't want to stay up for the late game, right? So it's like I don't know if you can win anywhere you can do it, but Seahawks, Lions, week 4, Chiefs, got Chiefs, Saints, Bills, Jets square off. That's going to be fun. October 14th, week 6, Bills, Jets. If Aaron Rodgers stays healthy this year, Josh Allen, Aaron Rodgers leading their respective offenses, that's going to be a nice AFC East matchup.
You got the Battle of Texas, November 18th. You got the Texans versus the Cowboys.
Love that. And that's right before the Ravens Monday night matchup. And there you go. The Cowboys are featuring Monday Football. Then they turn around and play Thursday on Thanksgiving. So there's the 1-2 punch there. Yeah, Texans Cowboys. I'm all over that Monday night game. The 1 week prior to ours. Think about that. You have. Just look at the slate of 4 games right there from November 4th to November 25th. The whole month of November. You start off Bucks, Chiefs, Dolphins, and Rams. That's a good one. Then you got the Houston and Dallas game, and then you got the Chargers and the Ravens locking up. So, dude, that's a whole good month of Monday night matchups right there, my friend. I love that. Cowboys have another one in December against the Bengals. Broncos, Bills, or Broncos, Browns, I should say. My apologies. Another doubleheader, December 16th. All right. You have the Bears and the Vikings, a NFC North matchup. And love the last game. December 30th, week 17, rematch of the title game. NFC side, Lions, Niners. Love that one. They saved that best for last. That's going to be a doozy. That's a nice one. I love how they're starting with the Niners and Jets and then ending with the Niners and Lions. Beautifully wrapped up there. Ravens have 2 Monday nighters themselves. They actually, if you look at just the Monday night slate, Cowboys have 2, Niners have 2, Ravens have 2, and the Chiefs have 2. So they're kind of parsed out evenly there. So I love the Monday night matchups, man. Anything jump out at you there other than what you called to attention to with the Texas interstate battle and I called attention to the last game of the year. Anything else that's
I know. I think you covered everything. I mean,
Yeah.
there's some
I
good
like it.
matchups here. Jags, Bills, that early on in the season, that could be anybody's game, really. What was it? With the Buffalo and the Jets, Battle of New York. You got that there too. Yeah, there's some good matchups here. So let's move on. Let's talk about the prime games. Here you go. These are the prime games on Amazon Prime, week 2 through week 17. Of course, we talked about we got week 10 Bengals versus Ravens. Josh, anything else here? Oh, look at that. Week 12 Steelers versus Browns. We got that AFC North game going on in week 12. That could have huge implications for us moving forward.
All
But
right, I like it. Okay.
Here's your prime schedules. Anything pointing looking out for you?
But you always go to the Ravens, Bills, or Bengals. Why do I keep saying Bills? Let's see the B. Bengals, Ravens, man. Come on. I always get that's going to be a good one. But outside of that,
Dave, thanks for tuning in. Go get some sleep while you're across the pond there. Really do appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much.
Yes, man. We appreciate you hanging with us. I know it's super late for you. Dude, awesome. And I can't wait to see you. August 17th. It's going to be a fun day, man. Can't wait to see you. It's going to be good. Something that jumps out immediately on the Thursday night football schedule, Packers Lions week 14.
Packers Lions week 14.
That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. That's going to be real fun. Great divisional matchup there in the NFC North. Also like how it's starting. Bills, Dolphins. It's going to be great. I like that one too.
And look, week 17, the number 1 draft pick gets to finish his season in prime time on week 17. You got the Bears against the Seahawks. So let's see how this kid does moving forward. It's going to be his first year. Can he get the Bears to the postseason? And he's going to be in prime time for his last game of his rookie season.
That's something you made me think about. Seahawks. I don't know if they were featured on Monday Night Football, and I can't remember if they were, but Thursday night they are. Let's circle week 6 right there. The Super Bowl representative of the 49ers, Mike McDonald's team. How can we forget? Right?
Yes.
Week 6, all eyes are on that Niners-Seahawks game. Obviously, it's not going to be our first look at them. Obviously, with the Ravens playing Thursday, we get to really hone in on some NFL action on the weekend and feast on some NFL red zone. So we're definitely going to see how the Seahawks fare in their debut with Mike McDonald as the head coach, but and no longer with the Pete Carroll era. But that's one for Monday Night Football or Thursday Night Football, I should say. That's certainly one I'm circling too as well. Looking at how it shakes up, I love the fact that weeks 10 through 16 are all divisional matchups on Thursday Night Football. Love how that shakes out. And there's a lot this year. I mean, the first 2 are AFC East, Bills, Dolphins, Patriots, Jets. Then you already got week 4 rolling in there at NFC East, Cowboys, Giants. And then you have another divisional matchup. There's divisional matchups 2 through 6. And then weeks 7, 8, 9 are not divisional matchups. Weeks 10 through 16 of the Thursday night slate are divisional matchups. And then week 17 is the Hawks and the Bears. So most of the matchups on Thursday night, you're getting divisional opponents. I love that. And I don't know, just seeing it, how we're laying it out here on the way we're doing it in the format. I love seeing the whole thing and seeing the logos, and I can really put those together. But that's something not sure if most people get, but this year for sure, 2024 shows a lot of divisional games on Thursday night. I love that.
Yeah. All right, let's move on here. I'm going to take this down, and then let's look at Sunday night.
Waiting all day for Sunday night, as Carrie Underwood sings so gloriously.
Yeah, I love the fact that the Sunday night football game starts on a Thursday. That's always cracks me up. It's like, all right, cool. It's Thursday night, but it's still Sunday night football. Okay.
Well, yeah, I get it.
Let's look here. So we got.
I just go to the 4th line. Thanksgiving night. We have a Thanksgiving night game.
Oh, look at that.
Packers, Dolphins.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And then we have to save the last for least. We have to go to the first 2 Thanksgiving games to see when they play, but we'll get to that next. Back to back. How about the NFL with Sunday Night Football and NBC, man? They get the Ravens Chiefs kickoff game, and then right away they go to Brazil for Packers Eagles. Like back-to-back nights for the NFL to be debuting. That's great, man. Love it.
Yeah.
Love seeing the Ravens logo week 4. at home. Bills, Ravens. That's going to be fun. Darkness there, nothing more. We get it in week 4. Here we go.
So it looks like Aaron Rodgers is going to be on Sunday night twice. We're going to see who else is going to be there a couple times. Green Bay's got a lot of Sunday night games.
I'll tell you what, these Sunday night matchups across the board are awesome. Week 1, Rams, Lions. Oh boy. And Jared Goff just got paid. That's going to be fun. How about Bears, rookie quarterback going against Houston? Bears.
Against CJ Stroud. That'll be a fun one to watch.
That'll be a fun one. How about week 3? Chiefs, Falcons with Kirk Cousins and all that. Yeah. And then week 4, we know M&T Bank Stadium. Ooh. Steelers, Cowboys right after us, week 5. Okay. Steelers have a couple Sunday nighters there early. Eagles, Rams, week 12, right before Thanksgiving. Bills, Niners, week 13. Lions, Texans in week 10. Wow, okay. All right. I see you. Chiefs, Texans in week 16. Okay. I see that too. Bucks, Cowboys, week 16 as well. There's a double dose. There's 2 week 16 Sunday night games. I wonder what that's about.
Oh.
See it?
Well, are those the Christmas game? No, they're not the Christmas games, are they?
No.
No, they're Netflix.
Not.
They're Netflix.
Christmas.
That's right.
No, no, because Christmas Day is Netflix, and that's Chiefs, Steelers, and then us and Texans.
Right.
So we'll have to look into the NFL schedule on that, what the times are. But yeah, it's showing week 16, Chiefs, Texans, and it has Cowboys and Bucks all over that one. Then the finale is Dolphins, Browns, and then week 18 is to be determined.
So Ryan Mink just put this tweet out. Last year, the Ravens had 3 divisional games all on the road in the first 5 weeks. This year, the Ravens play 1 AFC North foe in their first 7 games. We won't have a clear AFC North leader until late in the season. So that's definitely going to be an intriguing one moving forward. It's going to be a storyline going through the entire year. Let's look at the Thanksgiving lineup. Bears, Lions, 12:30 on CBS. Giants, Cowboys on Fox. And then Dolphins versus Packers.
I like it. Wow, I love it. You're getting 2 great divisional matchups there, and then you got Dolphins, Packers. Wow. How about the NFC North having 3 teams featured on Thanksgiving that day? Wow.
Former Raven Odell Beckham will be in prime time on Thanksgiving.
Yep. Forgot about that a little bit. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Bears, Lions, Giants, Cowboys, Dolphins, Packers. What a feast. Triple header. Love it. Love it. So far with the NFL schedule, I love it. Got to look at these nuances with these like double dip headers on Monday night and that Sunday night late. But so far, man, I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I can't wait. Can't wait. Did I say I can't wait?
So I
kind of you have to whittle your summer away. Wish your summer away, but.
I want to kind of do like a live reaction. So the Ravens have released their video. I want to post this picture real quick. I got to be a part of the Ravens video with Ronnie here. And I'm going to watch the live video as it was happening and kind of talk about my experience there. I was at Jimmy's Famous Seafood when they did this quick scene. But Josh, if you want to, do you want to pull it up at the same time and maybe we'll watch it together? All right, so let me pull this up here. All right, I got the video. So do you got the video? Let me know when you have the video.
I don't see anything yet. I just still see your picture with Ronnie.
Oh, no, I can't post the video on ours. You got to look on like Twitter or something. So pull that up real quick. Yeah, you just let me know when you're ready. It was a really fun experience to be a part of that.
I got it.
You got it. So if you guys want to follow along, watch the video together. All right, Josh, you ready to hit the play button?
Yes.
All right, so ready? 3, 2, 1, hit play.
Nice work. Somehow, you always come through. But now, I've got a very important message that I need you to deliver.
Oh my God, Coach. I have been waiting for this moment my whole life.
Now that you've video, there's no time to waste. Go straight to the airport. Grab that flight. Here's the company card. Don't let me down.
Oh, not a good idea, Harbs.
No messing around. Coach depending on me.
Poor boys.
Yes.
Nice.
We got his camo pants. He's got his gold chain there. Oh, you got a grill.
Yes.
Oh,
Saints
cat.
tattoo. I love it, man.
Week 1 versus Kansas City.
Everybody, free stuffed animals for anybody who thinks we're gonna beat the Bengals. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Beat the Bengals! Yeah!
All right.
Excuse me. Which one of these fish is the most delicious?
Such a goofball, man.
My friend. That's not it. I can afford it. Yeah! Everybody thinks the Ravens will win the Super Bowl. Gets a free lunch on me. Yeah! Let's get Ravens! I think we're going to beat the Eagles 100 to 0 or 200 to 0. 200. Yeah. My man. Me personally, I ain't never been more west of Frostburg, Maryland. But you know what? I might go this year, and we're going to beat the Raiders. Ain't that right, boys? Yeah! Beat the Raiders. Oh, man, this is fun, but I got to get out of here. Don't you understand?
She spelled Harbaugh B-A-W. I'm done. I'm going to start doing that from now on.
Out of pickles.
Hey, Coach, yeah, I'm on a tarmac. The flights keep getting delayed, but I'm almost there.
Ooh, jumping into the pickup.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to California. Don't forget the sunglasses. Where is he, Dad? Where's he at? Where is he? He ain't even here.
Pretty cool.
Holy cow, they got him all the way up to LA. Hey,
Stop it.
it's
Stop
Jim.
it. Really?
Welcome to LA.
Thank you. I got a very important message from Super Bowl winner John Harbaugh.
Super Bowl winner. Right there.
My dad told me to never take anything with nickel.
Okay, fine. But listen, he said you better have 53 place settings at the dinner table when the Ravens come to play.
Duly noted. Tell him I said hello.
And he also said he's mom's favorite.
Duly noted.
You're going down, Harbaugh.
Stink bombs.
Oh, that was great.
Yo, my bad. I ain't do all the games on the schedule, but whatever, yo. Google it if you're so curious, yo. You ain't got the internet? What you watching this on then, huh? Let's get Ravens.
I would tell you this. That was great.
That was a
That
lot
was
of fun.
great. I saw a lot of familiar faces in that crowd as I knew a lot of friends who went to that event. I know you said it was a great experience overall, man. What was it like to meet Ronnie? We know Stavros is his name, comedian. What was it like being in his environment and being around him?
Well, let me tell you. So I got there and they took over the second floor of Jimmy's. And of course, Jimmy's Seafood. There's always something going on. So the place was packed. It was midday on a weekday, but the place was packed. I go upstairs and they just have food everywhere. It is filling the top floor bar. And it's just like, guys, they kept going around saying, you guys can enjoy the food, enjoy it like it's lunch or whatever, but you got to leave some food on the plate. So it looks like, you know, you're actually in like the middle of the meal. So they set up a couple tables for Ronnie to sit at, and I'm sitting at the bar. You don't see me in the video, unfortunately. But I'm eating some like oysters and some crab egg rolls and stuff like that. They bring out the biggest lobster I have ever seen in my entire life. They said it's a $700 lobster They put that on the table, and that's what Ronnie's chewing on when he says, lunch is on me for everybody. So they go around, they shoot a couple different scenes with him at the table with crabs and talking to some other people. When he's leaving, that's actually across from me. I'm on the other side of the bar, but they were kind of thinking is there anything else we need to shoot here? I go over, ask for a picture. He's very nice. He said, yeah, absolutely. I'll take a picture with you. Like I said, like it showed you, he smiled and was all cool, and it was real nice. And that was it. It was quick. I was there for maybe 2 hours, an hour and a half, really. But yeah, it was a great time. It was a great experience to see the Ravens production. I mean, it was only a couple people. It's 2 or 3 people that are part of the crew that were able to do all of that.
Pretty good.
So it was a really good time. Big thanks to John for inviting me out to be a part of that. Really do appreciate him and appreciate everything that Jimmy's does. But of course, if you're going to show off Baltimore and where to get a meal, you're going to go to Jimmy's Famous Seafood and shoot a little video there. So Ravens know how to pick them. I'll tell you that much. But yeah, great experience. It was an absolute blast. I'm very appreciative I got to be a part of it. Bummer I'm not in it, but to be able to see it as it was happening, that was pretty cool.
We knew you were there. And I know we both got the special invite from John, so we personally thank John for that. I unfortunately had prior obligations. I couldn't go, but I'm glad you were able to represent and go and have a great time in your own right, man. It was great. So it's always good to be part of those kind of things, man. So it's a privilege and an honor. So we appreciate that.
So, Josh, is there anything else we got to talk about before we get out of here?
Yeah, we got to talk about our game day plans, our road trips. But now I wanted to kind of compare this year's from last year's. You know what I found interesting about this year's? Remember last year's, there was a couple of they played 2 games in the first 2 months of the season. Remember how it was they played 1 home game in September, 1 home game in October. They didn't play all their home games back. I remember they had a pocket of 3 in a row.
Right.
Love how the schedule alternates home and away through the first 7 weeks of the season. It's away, home, away, home, away, home, away. And then they're back-to-back aways in week 7 and 8. They're back-to-back homes in 9 and 10. They're back-to-back weeks 11 and 12 on the road. Then it's week 13 home, week 15, the 14th the bye week, 15's away, 16's home, 17's away, 18's home. So it's kind of cool how it's really kind of consistent. It's staggered, alternating. Then you get 2 in a row. Then you get 2 in a row. You alternate and you get 2 in a row. And so it's pretty cool how the schedule, when you talk about terms of traveling, it's not as grueling as last year's when they had to travel across the pond and go here. And, obviously they go to LA this year. But they go to LA on a month where, they start November at home and then they turn around and play 4 days later on Thursday Night Football. You have a mini bye week. So there's 2 home games in 4 days. You have a mini bye week there because of the Thursday night game. You go to Pittsburgh and then you fly out west for Monday night. So you play Sunday against Pittsburgh away, but then you get an extra day for the travel because you're playing all the way on Monday Night Football. And then you come home to play against the Eagles. So I love how the schedule doesn't look as grueling travel-wise, and especially the home and aways, and even there's no more than 2 in a row. I'd love that. I love the way the schedule's laid out. I have no quarrels about it when you first look at it.
No, it is a good schedule. It's good, tough opponents, of course.
Yes,
but
yeah.
It is a good schedule. But look at this. So this just popped up on X as well. This is uploading real quick. So just give me a second.
Sure.
7 nationally televised games for the Ravens. So there might not be 7 prime time, but they will be on a national audience, which is, that's great. Obviously, everybody wants to watch the Ravens.
And I was talking about that, right? They not necessarily mean that 8 o'clock slot, which is prime time, but those 4:30 ones, that's great. And when they mean nationally 7, the 5 prime time, but they're throwing, you can see the Steelers game at 4:30, and then as well as the Houston Texans. I'm actually surprised that that they're having I love it that they're having the 7 nationally televised games. It just shows you, the Ravens are must-see TV. Lamar, 2-time MVP, with the electricity that they bring, the pedigree. They're certainly watchable. They're certainly an exciting team. If you really look at it holistically, I love it. Nationally televised for 7 of the 17 games. I love it, man. Can't get enough. Love it.
Yeah. Big
And I
spotlight.
love the fact that we get 2 of those 5 primetime games at home. So I'm
Yes.
glad that we got the Thursday and the Sunday nighter. Whether it's Monday, Thursday, Sunday, they still mean a lot. I love the fact that it's quality teams, right? You got the divisional game, Bengals, and then you have that Bills game, Josh Allen, Lamar in week 4. That's going to be a great battle. So, and that's going to be the first Sunday nighter for the Ravens. I love it, man. It's going to be a great season to behold. We're going to be here every step of the way, breaking down every game along the way, and I can't wait to see how the trips stack up. We'll see if I get to Lambeau in August. I might try to make that trip.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of trips going around. Be More Around Town. They always put on a good time. My lady and I actually went to Sarasota for some spring training with the Baltimore Orioles. We went with Be More Around Town. We had an absolute blast. It really was well put together. They did a great job. They had something for us to do every single day, but it was still kind of laid back, still felt like a vacation. So it was a great time. If you do get to go on a trip and you get to go with Be More Around Town, definitely check them out, see if that's an option available for you, because it really was. It was a great time. Her and I had an absolute blast. So so Josh, what else we got to cover here? Anything else you want to talk about before we get out? We've already gone an hour and 11 minutes live here on Facebook and YouTube and Twitch. So lots of stuff going on. I think, dude, before we even end up anything, I think we got to do more of these live shows, man, because this was kind of fun to interact with everybody. And
I love that.
When we started this 12 years ago, doing it like this easily was not an option.
Well, then
this was so easy.
Every time we record, let's do it.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that.
Because we're just putting the audio out there for the podcast, so we can do it live, so we can get that. It's the best of both. You get the hold on.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is this some breaking news? I think we got some breaking news happening.
No breaking news. I thought it was false alarm. I didn't update my I had to update. Well, I was looking back through my notifications as I was getting, because I haven't obviously looked at them. I was paying attention to the schedule, and I was like, but I'm looking at like old news. I was like half hour ago. So I was like, wait a minute. And I'm like, nah, that's not it.
Yeah, crazy schedule. The Ravens are in demand.
Let's go. Do it. I can't wait.
Let's get through summer. Let August hit. Let's preseason it up. Let's have some fun in the middle of the day. I'm so excited. Let's do it.
Well,
all right, Josh.
Before we get out of here, let's wrap up.
Before we wrap up, let me ask you, looking at the schedule, what's the Ravens record at the end of the year? Yeah, that one's going to take you a minute. That's going to take you a little time. We're going to need a couple seconds here. Gather your thoughts.
We're going to do
I can put the
12-5.
12-5.
Okay. I'm teetering on the fence of 11-6 and 12-5. I think they got 12 in them.
Got 12.
I think they got 12. Yeah. Let's go through it. I mean, actually, now looking, I might go. I'm
going to write this down. That's what I'm going to do.
Chiefs loss.
You're going to say a loss to start?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. Chiefs loss. Raiders win. Cowboys.
I'm writing all this down.
Here we go.
Week 3. Week 3 against Dallas. That's a loss.
Yep.
Okay.
Bills win, so they're 2-2 after 4 weeks. Here's where they go. Bengals win. Commanders win. Buccaneers win.
Now you go too fast, man. I can't type that
Browns
fast.
win. Broncos win.
All right, week 6. Hold on. I'm going back. Week 6. Commanders, you're going to say that's a dub?
Yep.
Week 7, you said against the Bucks?
Dub.
Week 8? Week 8 is Browns. You still thinking?
Hold on, where am I
thinking,
at? Two. What's the
thinking, he's
record now?
thinking.
2, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm at 5-2, right?
It looks like it, yeah.
Loss.
Okay.
5-3. Okay.
We're gonna say dub or loss there. Week 9,
Win. It's a dub.
dub. Week 10,
Dub.
dub. Week 11,
Think this year they finally do it. I say a dub in Pittsburgh finally.
dub in Pittsburgh. All right. Week 12, Chargers, the Harbaugh Bowl. Oh, he's thinking. He's still thinking.
Loss.
Ooh. Jim getting the best of his brother.
I
Week
think I
13.
I might be teetering on 11-6. So, Eagles game win.
Win. Got a dub there.
Giants win.
Dub there. Week 15 is or wait, no, I'm sorry. So week 14 is the bye.
Mm-hmm.
Week 15. That's the you said it was a dub.
Yep.
Week 16,
Dub.
dub. Oh, so we're sweeping the Steelers.
Yep. We're sweeping the Steelers and sweeping the Bengals. We're going to split with the Browns because I'm going to predict the Browns game. The Browns game is tough at the end of the year. I know we got another game in there to between, but Browns game is tough at the end. But
so Christmas night?
Christmas night against Houston, win.
Win. And last one, you're going to say that's a loss?
I'm just going to say it's a loss just because I have a feeling it's not going to mean anything. And if not, let's just split it with go 5-1 in division. What's that record?
There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11. Looks like you got 12 wins.
I said 12-5 initially, so there's my 12-5.
12-5.
That's why I said I was on the fence between 12-5, 11-6. Like I feel like they can certainly lose 5 or 6 of those games. Now, whatever games a combo and see if I get it right. Not sure, but first glance and knowing it and the opponents, I think, it's a tough schedule for sure. And the reason why they have a second hardest schedule winning percentage wise based on last year, but you got to play the games, and the Ravens, have a chance to win every single one of these games as any team, right? On any given day, week, of the month or of the year. But how it shakes out. I love for them to prove me wrong and flip some of these games around. Like, hey, let's go into Arrowhead in week 1 and take it to them, right? Lions did it last year and surprised everybody, and they end up in the championship game. So who knows? It's just looking at it first glance. Going on the road in Arrowhead week 1 against the 2-time defending champs right now, tough, tall order, and they don't know how to solve the Mahomes mystery just yet. So I got to give the credit to the champions right now until the Ravens can solve that puzzle. But I love for them to shock me, as we always say on the show. Hope they prove me wrong, but you can't predict this team to go 17-0, man. It'd just be ridiculous. So got to lose some of these games and, see what happens, man. What say you at this glance? What are you thinking?
All right, so I'm going to say week 1. I'm going to say week 1 is a dub. I think they're going to be far too motivated to lose to Kansas City 2 in a row.
Okay.
Week 2, I'm going to say that's a dub with the Raiders. Week 3, I don't like Dallas, but it is the regular season, so I'm going to say that one's a loss. Week 3. Say week 4 is a win. Week 5 against the Bengals is a win. Commanders is a win. Week 7 against the Bucks. That could be interesting. That's an away game. It's a Monday night. I feel like that could be a win too.
All right.
I feel like they can win in Cleveland. Denver, who knows what, like Denver is just like an anomaly right now. Who knows what they're going to do? I don't know about that one. I'm going to come back to week 9 because that one's kind of intriguing. Week 10, I'll say is a dub. I'll say a loss to the Steelers. Week 11, because that's in Pittsburgh. I'll say a win in LA. I'm going to say a loss to Philly. Bye week. Win against the Giants. Win against the Steelers. I want to say a win on Christmas night, and I'm going to end it with a loss. So week 9. I think that can be a dub. I think that can be a dub.
Okay.
So what do I've got 13-4. Is that what I'm saying?
Wow, you got them one better, 13-4. That might be challenging for the one of the top seed in the conference, man. I love it. Okay, it's challenging, especially with this schedule this year.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of great teams here. The AFC North is stacked. The Steelers. I mean, who knows what's going to happen with like Russell Wilson? Like that's
right.
He might not even finish the season.
And they got Justin Fields. You don't know what they look like, right? I say the Browns are going to be a tough because Deshaun Watson's there. You know what he did to us last year. That's going to be a tough game, man. The Browns aren't your usual Browns, right? Love to hate them, but you got to respect the fact that they got talent, right? And the Chargers are going to be intriguing with the personnel they have. Obviously, the Ravens took care of business last year, but different team, dude. They don't have Keenan Allen. They don't have Mike Williams. They got the former Ravens and running backs. You have G-Row with their offensive helm. You also got Jim Harbaugh over there. So, like to see him win it, right? You want to see him win every game, but you don't know. Buccaneers, Monday Night Football, tough. Opponent on the road, but it is Baker Mayfield in that offense. But they got Mike Williams. They got Chris Godwin. There's a lot of quality opponents. NFC East, man. They could easily split that 2-2. They could easily lose the Eagles at home. I hope they don't. But you can easily, Dallas. If you look at the NFC East, you think they could probably go 3-1, right? Lose to Dallas, beat the Commanders, beat the Giants. Those two teams are, they're going to the Commanders are going to probably deploy a rookie quarterback in Daniels. They have Daniel Jones right now in I was going to say New England, New York. No Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley's now an Eagle. We get him later in the year. So you say the Ravens are at home, so you take care of business at home. There's a lot of intriguing matchups, man. You got the Texans again. Ravens took care of business handily last year. How the game started was a little shaky, but they got a potent offense. They got Joe Mixon and Stephon Diggs now. That's going to be really late in the year, but you're going to know how the Texans stack up by then easily because right now it's second to the last game of the year, right? So you're going to know who they are and what they're about. So especially with the Ravens, you're going to know what both teams look like. So it's going to be intriguing how this stacks up. And then, dude, they get the defending chance right out of the gate. Doesn't get any harder than that, right, on the road. But it also doesn't get any sweeter playing the villain and being on the road. You remember Suggs all the time, in the Steelers environment and all the enemy territory. We're the bad guys and playing that villain role, and they embrace it. And I think it's going to be fun. I know the Flock's going to be represented as usual, as no matter where they go. And speaking of the Flock, we got a lot of great travel this year, man. We talked about the one and only road game preseason. You're going to the famous Lambeau Field, man. You go to Dallas this year, big old Jerry's World. You're going to Tampa, man. You're going to Tampa Bay, a great destination of Florida. You go to L.A. We're out west in L.A. for the Chargers game. Ravens have some nice destinations in them. Hey, can easily take the bus trip up there to New York, what we did against the Jets game. I know my friends are probably going to listen to it. We're gonna be up for that road trip again. Doing the ride up, and then that was an incredible story the last time. So let's hope it doesn't happen again. But I'm looking forward to the schedule, man, and I can't wait to get it wrapped up and ready to go, man. But real quick before we get out of here, I wanted to share. You shared your experience with the Ronnie situation, the Jimmys. I'm going to share my experience this week. I actually was at one location at the Castle. I got selected. It seemed like from a select few PSL owners, I got asked to fill out a survey to participate in a fan forum. Okay. And
that's cool.
Yeah. So I filled out the survey. They gave me the information, and it was very weird because it was like they were like somewhere in Baltimore area, and I'm like, okay, cool, like wherever. Then apparently it came out when I got the official invite and email. It was actually at One Winning Drive. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's somewhere in the Baltimore area for sure. So I got to go there this past week. Got to go inside, and being in presence in the lobby. It was great. So I was in the Castle.
Was that your first time in the castle?
No. I've been there plenty of times.
Okay.
I've been there before. Still was cool though. They just always being there, and it just, dude, the castle's awesome. If you've never been, hopefully somebody gets a chance to go. Have you been?
I've not been inside. I've been on the grounds, but never inside.
Yeah, hopefully some point maybe you can try to get in there somehow. Some way. It's awesome. Just they got the trophies in the lobby and just the architecture of the cat, dude. It's a nice place, dude. I can imagine being a player walking in for the first time and be like, this is great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so apparently I was a little worried because like they had more responses than spots. So my participation, they were like, we're going to take a few selected of you, but then the others will release you, but you'll still get incentivized for your participation, even though you didn't get selected. All participants, whether they got selected to be part of the panel or not, we got a $100 gift card to Fanatics. So
nice.
So I already got $100 in my pocket to spend on Fanatics for just showing up, whether I was a participant or not. Fortunately, I was one of the 9. They selected 9 people. I was one of the 9, got selected. We went upstairs, participated in an hour-and-a-half fan forum. And this fan forum was pretty much a brainstorm session and it was everybody in the room was PSL owners. So that's how I knew I was selected, was PSL owners. And we were asked like various questions and topics about like the game day experience. What is it like to be a PSL owner? What's the value to you there? What does it mean to you? Your favorite Ravens memories and all that. Got to converse and brainstorm with other fellow Ravens fans and PSL owners alike. We brainstorm anywhere from current game day and stadium issues to, ideas what we can do and improve the game day and fan experience. So there was a lot of great topics and discussions. I had some of my concerns out there off my chest that I've had for a while that I've experienced through the years at going to games, and then some things I've observed that they can certainly do better, especially learning from the Orioles way of doing things, their neighbors right there on Russell Street. So, we said at the end, with these surveys and forums, they're always pretty fun to participate in, taken seriously, but you hope your voice is heard and there's changes being made. So if I see any changes out of our group that were implemented, I'll certainly cover them on the show and saying like, hey, we talked about this and I saw this at the game day experience and where I saw this change and it was part of that process, and it'd be great. But it's pretty cool to be a part of something like that. We got, and then I know me and you linked up for lunch prior. It was great.
Yeah.
It was great to be part of the fan forum. So it was pretty cool experience overall, man. It was a very relaxed environment, pretty cool, and not great thing to say about it. It was pretty cool to be selected and be part of that.
Awesome, man. I'm glad you got to do that. Really cool stuff, and it's good to hear that the Ravens are listening to the people that are there every week, and they want to hear it straight from the horse's mouth instead of
we say we spend the money. Let's make some changes, right? So
yeah,
it's pretty cool how they actually take the time to do that. And it seems like they take it very seriously. It was like a focus group. So I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, we get in there and there's like snacks laid out and there's like pen and paper and a notepad before you. I'm thinking like it's like a formal meeting, and we were in a nice boardroom, conference room setting. So it was pretty unprecedented. So another great experience for the Ravens. And there's the value itself, being a PSL owner, man. It's just, again, it's just always something. And I told him, you never take it for granted sometimes. Like it doesn't go to your head, and it gives you this kind of unprecedented access, and there's the value in itself. But the other thing is giving back, man. And so I told him, I said, one thing about being a PSL owner, the value with the tickets and the access is to be able to like help folks out. Like I was able to get a pair of tickets for the AFC Championship game last year because of my access for the PSLs and getting them for the general public. How about, the opportunity of getting season tickets? And if there's a one-off chance I don't get to go to a game, I can give my pair away as a gift, or I can, sell them at a reasonable price to folks and not getting gouged on the third-party markets. I have access to that. And, that's something to be proud of. And I just love being a part of that. So, it's something that we took away from that is just, being grateful and never taking that for granted. That being a part of that is special for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've had a very Ravens-centric off season so far, man. Still, we've been just as busy as we've been during the regular season. But Josh, for this episode of The Call, the official NFL season release, have we covered everything for this episode of the show?
We covered it and then some, man. Let's get this party going, starting in KC. But hey, it does start here at home in the preseason, and can't wait to get it rolling. Darkness there and nothing more. How about it? Quote the Raven, nevermore.
All right, everybody. Well, if you would like to continue the conversation with Josh or I, you can. It's real easy. All you have to do is join our Discord, discord.gg/the-call podcast. Join our server over there. You can be a part of the tailgate talk as we wait for this NFL season to approach, and it's just a couple months away. Let's see. Check us out on Apple Podcast and on Spotify. Leave us an Apple Podcast review. Leave us a rating over on Spotify, and be social with the show. Let all of your friends know. Say, I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan. I listen to the call, and you should too. Thank you all for watching us on Facebook and Twitch and YouTube. We really do appreciate it. I had a blast doing this live show. I think we're going to do this a little bit more often, maybe have just some fun. Maybe we'll just do a show where we're just kind of chatting with you guys. No, like, it doesn't have to be an actual event. We're just kind of sitting back, chilling. Maybe we're watching an old Ravens game, and we can all do a watch along together. That'd be kind of fun. So that is pretty much it for the show this week. Josh, I'm not gonna be able to cue up the music. I'm not gonna be able to do that, guys. But Josh, take us out the way you always do.
You betcha, my friend, man. It was great breaking down the schedule with you all. Love being a part of it. These live shows, we'll certainly ramp them up for the season. And now that Brandon's figured out the technology and we've hooked it up, love being here live and interacting with you all. We just love it. We love doing this, just covering the Ravens, doing our thing. Love you guys here being here every step of the way, every part of it. I'm excited for the schedule. I know you are too. Hit us up on the socials, Facebook, the page, the call on the Facebook. We'd love to hear your reactions. What do you like? What you don't like? How about it? What is your prediction for the season schedule? Are you going to go around that 12-5 mark as I put out? Hey, Brandon got one better, 13-4. Do you think the Ravens are going to win 11, 10, 9 games? Do you think it's a really tough schedule and you don't think they're going to fare that well? Let us know what you like. Let us know if you're whatever games you're going to. We'd love to be a part of that if I get to see you down at M&T Bank. And for the away trips, let us know what you're going to be eyeing up. Are you going out to Dallas? Are you going to take that trip out to Lambeau in the preseason? Are you going to Florida? Are you going to go out to LA to see the Chargers on Monday Night Football? It's going to be a good one out SoFi. Can't wait to hear from you guys. Looking forward to the all season, ramping it up. We don't want to wish the summer away. The Orioles are making noise in their own right. The Ravens are going to make that much better noise in the fall with the schedule. The schedule's a gauntlet, but they start with the defending champs, and I can't wait to get it going. With that being said, Brandon, let's have about it. Baltimore Ravens 2024 season is going to be full throttle here shortly, and let's fly high.